All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Let's get this thing going. We are, of course, talking about the power of pre-qualification. And in this power of pre-qualification, we're going to talk about how we are going to be capturing more listings by just simply pre-qualifying our sellers. So let's go ahead and get this going. I want to go ahead and open it up to the audience. Again, for those of you that are joining us over on Instagram and or YouTube, I'm going to encourage you, as always, come join us over here on Zoom. All right, everybody. So good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. Any questions that I can address right out the gate in regards to pre-qualifications? Nope. All right. Let's pick up where we left off. I want to continue to work in the direction of more role play, less Robert. But in order for us to move in that direction, we do need some more participation. And I appreciate those of you that have participated already. All right. So we talked about how it separates us. We talked about what the purpose of the pre-qualification. We've talked about the buyers or the sellers are going to be buying as well. When do we do that as far as get them qualified from a lending standpoint? How to separate the buyers, the 2 or 3 buyers that we get referred at 10 that will actually move forward with the entire process, and how not to invest 2 to 3 hours on basically a dead buyer. Okay, so now we're going to move forward in regards to some of the rules of what we talked about. I do expect of you to pre-qualify 100%, 100% of the time. Okay. Now this is going to happen, and you're going to find yourself, well, I already know enough information about them. I can tell you Murphy's Law. How does it work? Why does it work? When does it show up? Well, it's always going to be that one question that you did not ask, or the series of questions that you didn't ask. That's going to end up biting you in the butt. Where they come back and they basically, at the end of your listing presentation, they say, Robert, hey, I appreciate the information. We're going to go ahead and talk to the other realtor now. Okay. Or, well, we already spoke to another realtor. They already mentioned that they're going to do it for less commission. So I appreciate you coming by. And then you find yourself on the outside looking in. Okay. The other thing, of course, when you don't pre-qualify, you're also going to be in a position where you're presenting more about yourself, more about the company, and less about you, or sorry, that's what we don't want to do. Less about them. We want to talk about them and only them and nothing but them and their motivation and why they're so amazing. And then, oh yeah, by the way, this is what I'm going to do to sell your home. And that's it. That's it. Okay. But think about your last listing presentation. You went out and you presented and you said, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this other stuff. This is what makes our company great. We've been around for so long. This is how we ended up coming with the balloon. This is why we wear yellow jackets. This is why we do all of these things. Okay. And then, by the way, here's the comps. This is why your house isn't worth with what you think it's worth. And yeah, here we go. You guys ready? Huh? Oh, you're going to think about it. All right. Well, yeah, think about it. And then that's your listing presentation. And then you're sitting there, you call them a day or a week later, and you're like, oh, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes. Is that your last listing presentation or your usual presentation? We want to change that up. Now, let's also talk about the pre-qualifying questions as to asking which questions. Are they applicable? Yes, ask them 100%. When you're assuming, there's good and there's bad. The assuming bad is when you're sitting there thinking, well, they said they wanted a bigger house because of the following reason. They said they want a smaller house because, the kids have left, so they're probably empty nesters. That's bad assumption. Okay. Good assumption is when you use it for the purpose of closing. Okay. I understand you already have a lender. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lender call you, and then that way they can go ahead and compete for your business. Okay. Is it okay if I get them to try to save you $100, $200, or even $300 on your monthly payment? No, you're already going to go with the other lender. That's fine. I get that. No, here's the thing, Mr. and Mrs. Seller and or buyer, is that you do have the option at the end to choose whichever lender you want to move forward with. I'm not saying for you to use this lender. I'm just saying getting a second opinion. I mean, at the end, if you find out that there's a better program out there, wouldn't you want to know about that? Of course you would. Okay. And like I said, at the end, it's all up to you in regards to who you end up using. Another thing that I say on the frequent is it's not so much what you say, It's how you say it. Let me give you an example. So you go, you're at the store, you're at the grocery store, and you bump into somebody, and it wasn't your fault, it was their fault. And then they look at you and they go, sorry, were they? Or you do it again with somebody else and they go, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you fine? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you. Are you okay? Now, on both of the approaches, in approach one, you're going to be like, well, hey, not a problem. It's fine. Right? No, that doesn't happen. In most cases, you get right to the defense. You're like, whoa, you bumped into me. But they're the same words. And that's what ends up happening when we end up presenting. Robert, I use your scripts. I use everything. And I told them exactly what you told me to tell them. And I go back and I listen to the recording. And the recording is, John, hey, this is Robert. Are you planning on listening home with me when I come out tomorrow? Yeah. Well, I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel confident. You're going to think about it? Okay. All right. Well, I'll be out there tomorrow. Robert, I used the script. I said with what it is you wanted me to say. Nope. That's not with what I asked of you to say. And that's definitely not the way that I asked you to say it. So we have to pay attention to the way we say things. That's another big important rule to with what we do. Now, one thing that I really took tremendous pride on is I would have my assistant or assistants pre-qualify. Anybody here have their assistant or assistants ever pre-qualified the seller? What's the benefit? The benefit is it takes the emotion out of the equation. Think about the last time you went to a new dentist or a new doctor. Do you just show up and go, "Hey, it's Robert Villabuba here for my 5 o'clock appointment"? Okay. Oh yeah, hey, come on in. Let's get you to sit down, and yeah, the doctor will be right in with you. And then the doctor shows up 2 minutes later. Anybody ever go through that? Nope. It's not how it works. What do? New patient. Here you go. Here's a clipboard with 50 pages. Here's an iPad with 500 questions. Go ahead and fill this out. I know it's going to take you about 20 to 30 minutes, and you were supposed to be here for 5 o'clock appointment. We forgot to tell you to be here an hour early because we got to go through all of this processing. And then can we get your medical card, please? What are they doing? They're pre-qualifying us before they even put us on that chair or on that table. That's their version of pre-qualification. And what do I just do? What do we do? You just simply say, "Oh, you want to sell your house? Cool, awesome. I'll be there later today." And that's it. We get paid, some of us, I'm hoping some of you, and hopefully some of you I get the opportunity to get to, make more money than most doctors. Okay. I have a friend who is a very successful doctor, and he'll probably make an absolute killing this year, around six to $700,000. But he went to school for 14 years. I went to school for like 4 hours to get my license. You guys see what I'm saying? And my point in this is that some of you try to act professional when you're not. Yep, I know that gets under some of your skins, but we need to act as if. And act as if, though, we are running an office like a dentist or like a doctor or any professional. Anybody that gets paid high levels, that's what we want to pay close attention to. So, in that, when you have your staff do the pre qualification, you get all the facts. We always want to make sure that we call them back a second time to confirm. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, hey, it's Robert. Yeah, we're on for later on today at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much. I appreciate you asking some questions in regards to where you're moving to. I know you mentioned that you're wanting to go to the Bay Area, and I have that here. But no, I am curious, where in the Bay Area is it that you're wanting to get to? Okay, got it. So East Bay. Okay, so I'm sitting here when you say Bay Area, I'm thinking like San Francisco. Okay, so what part of East Bay are you looking at? Hey, got it. Hey, oh, Hayward. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with Hayward. Perfect. All right, great. Now, do you have a realtor that's going to be helping you when you get out there? You don't. Great. Hey, you know what? Let me get you one of my realtors, and as a matter of fact, let me get my lender to go ahead and get you in that process. Okay. Now, she didn't get a chance to ask you what was the main benefit, what was the purpose, how is this going to help you, who's most looking forward to making this move? Thank you so much. Hey, I really appreciate that. Now, I know she also mentioned that your goal is to be there by the end of the year. Um, if we were to sell this home in the next 30 days, would that be a pro or would that be a con? So you are in a position where you can sell now. Okay, cool. Awesome. There we go. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we're not rushing this for you. So what I simply did is I added another layer or five to continue to move forward. All right. So let's go ahead and move on and let's take a look. I think Shelly has a question. When meeting a buyer prospect via Zoom the first time is 5 minutes to get them to the lender. Do you only meet with them the second time in person and then? All right. So when working with the buyer, I'm going to go over this. I know we addressed this a little bit previously, but I'm going to go through the thoroughness of it. We're going to jump back into the prequel. I am asking of you to please raise your hand for participation after I answer this question. With a buyer, so the very first thing, Shelly, is I'm going to give that person a call. As a matter of fact, Lizette, can I get you to participate with me? Lizette's going to be the buyer. Okay.
Okay.
So Declan referred us. Declan put us in a group text, and Lizette and I confirmed that we're going to talk before she gets to work at 8 o'clock. And she wanted to make sure that she's not late to work. And I text and I say, hey, not to worry. It's only going to take about 3 to 5 minutes anyways. And I'm going to go through the thoroughness of it. So here we go. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Lizette, hey, it's Robert, the realtor. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, awesome. Hey, I appreciate you taking the call so early. I know that you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, so in about 15, 20 minutes. So I want to be very, very brief. Can I borrow you for about 2 to 3 minutes now?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, perfect. Now, share with me, what is it that you and your amazingly gorgeous, handsome boyfriend are looking for?
We're looking to buy our first home. So it's just us, but we do want an extra room for our office. So probably just 3 bedrooms, 2 baths is what I'm thinking.
Okay, so 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And then what cities do you have in mind?
Well, we're looking in Visalia, Tulare, and possibly Fresno.
Visalia, Tulare, and Fresno. Oh, there's a little bit of a separation. Do you have a preference in regards to Visalia, Tulare, or Fresno?
No, I think we're pretty flexible right now. We work from home, so
Got
yeah,
it. Okay, so really just anything that's going to pique your interest in any one of those three cities.
yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, is there any questions you have for me that maybe you wanted to address right out the gate?
No, I mean, this is my first time really going through the process, so I'm not sure what else is next.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to guide you throughout the entire process. I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. So as we move forward, if there are any questions that you have, I do encourage you, feel free to text me at any point. Now, I am curious as far as time frame is concerned. Are you currently renting or any sort of long-term contract at the moment?
Yeah, we're coming up on our contract probably by like September.
Oh, okay. So by September 1st or through September, and then you have to be out on October 1st.
Uh, by October 1st.
Okay,
By
perfect.
yeah,
Perfect. Now from there, can you go month to month, or are you going to have to sign another extended lease at that point?
we could probably do a month to month.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm not putting you guys in a stressful situation. I'm not sure if you're aware of the fact right now in the market, it's to identify a home. And then on top of that, it's going to take another 30 to 45 days to go through the process of closing escrow. So in reality, we're at about 60 days at the absolute bare minimum to maybe right around
Hmm.
that 90-day mark, which perfectly aligns because we got July, we got August, and we got all the way through September, which puts
Yeah,
us in a position where we probably want to identify that home by absolute latest by mid August. Would that be okay with you guys?
yeah, that's enough time, I
Okay,
think.
perfect. Now, I don't want to assume, are you going to be looking to pay cash or are you going to be doing financing?
No, it'd be financing.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lender reach out to you and then we can go through the process. They'll explain all of the different programs, including those of the first time homebuyer programs. Should I have my lender reach out to you today or should I have them reach out to you tomorrow?
Probably tomorrow might be better.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because you got to show up to work here in about 15 minutes. So what I'm going to
Yeah.
do is I'm going to put you in a group text, and then I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. Her name is Faith. She'll get you all coordinated, and in that group text, you guys can coordinate what's the ideal time. And if it does make more sense today, that's okay. You guys can, in a sense, coordinate that. And then as far as that is concerned, what I also want to do is I want to do with what is known as a buyer consultation because I want to be able to thoroughly explain to you the entire buying process. I'm going to leave you with Faith here for the next several days. Why don't we put the buyer consultation on the schedule for next week? Would it be best for us to do it on Tuesday or would you prefer to do it on Wednesday around 5 o'clock?
Yeah, probably Wednesday at 5.
Okay.
That might work a little bit better.
Okay, perfect. So
For
Wednesday at
Mhm.
5 o'clock. And then, yeah, I'm going to leave you in charge with Faith. That's probably the most important thing because that's going to determine what direction we're going in terms of the type of home, how much home, all that other good stuff. Okay.
That makes sense.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you. Is there any questions before I let you go?
No, I think that's it. You'll just put me in connection with her.
Yep. I'll put you in a group text here, probably at the absolute most 15 minutes, and then you guys can take it from there. I know you're already going to be at work, but whenever you answer is perfectly fine. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Perfect. Hey, Lizette, I'm really looking forward to meeting you and your boyfriend. And yeah, let's get you guys that home. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have fun at work. We'll talk soon. So we leave it there. Lizette goes with the lender. And as she goes and speaks with the lender goes through, runs Lizette's credit, and goes, goodness gracious, what the heck? This girl, she says she's working, but she's working for Amazon and she literally works 2 hours a week. Okay. Now, her boyfriend makes decent money, but the guy has a 300 FICO score. Robert, I can't do anything with him. Right.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. I pick up the phone. We don't have to role play this, Lizette. I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna go, Lizette, hey, it's Robert, the realtor. Hey, I heard the not so good news in regards to the qualification is concerned. It's not the end of the world. Perfectly fine. I understand we put you on a program so that we can go ahead and get you guys in a qualification process. So let's stay in touch. Okay. So I understand it might take anywhere from 3 years to 10 years to actually get you guys finally qualified. I'm being sarcastic. But let's stay in touch. And then once you guys are qualified, we'll go ahead and revisit the idea. Awesome. But hey, by the way, who else do you know of that's in the market looking to buy, sell, or even invest? Okay. Or Lizette's hungry. They provide all the information. That gets done today. She goes and speaks with Faith. Faith calls me back later today around 6, 7 o'clock and says, hey, Lizette and her boyfriend, dude, these guys are ready. Yeah, they're absolutely ready. They got a 750 FICO score. They have 20% down. We can probably get them up to about 1 million. I know that she wanted to keep her budget around 800,000. We went over the payments and all this other stuff. Awesome. Okay, cool. Perfect. I pick up the phone call. Lizette, hey, it's Robert just reaching out to you. Hey, I heard the great news. You guys are qualified. Congratulations. Hey, well, all right. So today is Thursday. I know we're not scheduled to meet to next Tuesday. What I want to do is I want to take advantage of the time and instead of just simply waiting until next Wednesday. Is there any chance we can meet today or tomorrow via Zoom and just kind of go over this? It'll probably take about 30 to 45 minutes in that buyer consultation. Would you prefer to do it today or would tomorrow work better? And then we go from there. All I do is just expedite. Why do I give the lender 1 week's worth of time? It gives them one weekend and it gives them plenty of time to maneuver through things. Now, what if the lender doesn't get them qualified? If the lender doesn't get them qualified, I'm going to tell Lizette, hey, it's really vital that we go through this process in its entirety because it's going to determine the direction we're going as far as the type of home we're looking for. Okay, so I'm sure you would agree with me. It's probably best to just kind of push off a little bit of the buyer consultation until we get a little bit of clarity in regards to this, regarding that, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Any question? Well, actually, let me address the questions that are here. Okay, the questions is thank you, Lizette. I appreciate that.
Mm.
All right. So, would you work with the buyer if they insist on using a different lender? Yes. Okay. Yes, under the circumstance that my lender reviewed their qualification. Okay. So I will, but I'll tell you this, in 26 years now, probably about a good 1,000 or so buyers. How many of those buyers did not actually perform on their loan? Sure, there was numerous. But I'm going to say probably about 50 of them did not perform. And of the 50 that did not perform, probably about 10 of them were with lenders that it's my brother, it's my sister, it's my mom, it's my aunt, it's my good friend, it's my favorite banker, the whatever. And then they're the ones that kill the deal. And I wasn't prepared. And I wasn't prepared from a direction of I didn't have them secondly qualified. So then I just simply, oh goodness, there goes the deal. But when I get them secondly qualified or a backup, I say, hey, look, Aqua, it totally sucks that your lender unfortunately didn't perform. But I know that my lender was able to get a chance to review your information. I'm going to see if they can pick up where we left off. I'm going to talk to the realtor, see if we can get a little bit of an extension because they're probably going to need at least another 2, maybe 3 weeks to go through the process. But it's not the end of the world because I got my lender ready to go. Okay, so the answer is yes, as long as my lender has had a chance to review that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So Shelly, do you do buyer consultation only in person or also via Zoom or on the phone? They are 100% via Zoom. I do not do buyer consultations anymore in person. The reason I don't do buyer consultations in person is because I set that appointment with Lizette at 5 o'clock, and what ends up happening, she's running late. I'm gonna be there in just a minute. I ran out of gas. I got a flat tire, so on and so forth. I should be there in about 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm sitting there, and I have a 6:30 listing appointment I got to get to. And now I'm sitting there frustrated, like, well, what do I do now? And I've been in plenty of those situations. If that does happen, let's say that those exact same scenarios, I just simply say, hey, not a problem. Is that's the beauty of Zoom is you can really do it anywhere. Do me a favor, just go ahead and pull over somewhere safe. And then what we'll do is we'll do it over the phone. Okay. Sorry. We'll do it over the phone on Zoom. So I will always do it on Zoom. There might be a 5 or 10 minute delay, but there won't be a 30 or 45-minute delay. Or my personal favorite is we're right around the corner. We should be there any minute. And then 30, 40 minutes later, which corner are you around? Because you're not around the corner that's here. Right. Okay. All right. So with the second qualification, how do you overcome their fear of having credit rerun? We don't have to rerun their credit. I tell them, Shelly, hey, you know what? The fact that I'm so excited you already started the process. The best part about it is your lender already ran your credits. I'm sure they gave you a copy of your credit report, right? Oh no, they didn't. They didn't. That's a lender's job. They're supposed to give you a copy of your credit report. It's probably best that you do ask of them to give you a copy of your credit report because you are supposed to be getting one anyways. And then my lender can review it based off of that. Okay. Now I just want to make sure though that your credit was ran within the last 90 days. Yeah, it was. It was ran like 2 weeks ago. Perfect. So we don't rerun their credit. Okay. And then there's also other ways where you can do a soft pull. Okay. All right. So I always appreciate the questions. It's always appreciative. So let's get back into the role plays and let's get into that. Okay. Mhm. Sorry, I had my script up. And let me share screen. Again, for those of you that are joining us on Instagram and those of you that are joining us on YouTube, I'm going to encourage you to come join us on Zoom. While I'm fumbling through this, if you guys are wanting more information, I still have 4 openings as far as coaching is concerned. So if you're wanting more information, like I said before, I don't hard sell, okay? Because coaching doesn't work unless you want to. It's kind of like, hiring a personal trainer at the gym. It's not going to work if you don't eat right or follow the program. Okay. But if you are wanting to be in a position where you can at least double your business, if not triple your business, and possibly quadruple your business, let me know. I definitely would love the opportunity to have a conversation. All right. So here we go. Pre-qualifying. Who wants to volunteer? We got time for about 2, maybe 3 role plays. Participation. You want to give it a whirl, Shelly?
Yeah, I'll give it. People on here, I want to give someone else a chance, but I'll do it always.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hog it up. If nobody wants to participate, let's do it. Go for it. I appreciate you.
Okay, so ring. Ring.
Hello.
Hi, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Robert, it's Shelly, the realtor. Do you have a few minutes for me?
I do. I got to be at work here in about 10, 15 minutes, but go for it.
Oh, yeah. So before we meet on Saturday at 10 a.m., I just had a couple of questions for you so that I'm prepared. I wanted to know if you're planning to interview more than one agent for the job of getting your home sold on Faulkner Street there.
No, as of right now, we're not really looking to interview any other agents. It's really, you're highly recommended. So right now we just want to hear what you got going on.
Great. And do you have any ideas in the back of your mind about what qualities you're looking for in an agent?
I'm really just somebody who's going to communicate well, somebody who's going to get the home sold, make the most amount of money. I think that's probably the most important thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. And tell me again, where are you guys moving to?
Well, we're moving to Oakland.
To Oakland.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, close to Alameda.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How soon do you have to be there?
Well, not really in a dire rush. I have to report physically to my new job here January 1st. So I got a little bit of time. But what I don't have as far as time is concerned is a relocation money. They're only giving me until October 1st to identify that because they do want me to physically be there before then.
Oh, got you.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit more about the relocation money.
Well, I mean, I kind of stalled on it. They had started at the beginning of the year and they said, hey, Robert, we need you to be out here. We can do all the Zoom thing for the entire year. You got to be here physically, though, by January 1st, 2026. But we need you to make that move because we don't want to be dealing with, any of our employees dealing with moves while they're, reporting to the work physically. So they gave me 6 months, and here we are, a little bit later than I expected. They did grant me another 90-day extension all the way through until October 1st.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it sounds like if you're not, like, if you don't take advantage of, and get identify a property
Mhm.
within that time frame, there's going to be some negative consequences,
Yeah, they,
right?
they basically will reassign a new project manager for this. And
Uh-oh.
basically, I'll have to wait back in line for a new project. Yeah, we have projects throughout all of California. So the fact that
Okay.
I'm looking to get closer to the Bay Area, anyways, ends up lining up perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we gotta get the sooner we get the work, the sooner we can find you a place. And how much do you want to list your home for when we get together?
I'm thinking right around seven. I mean, I'd like to get 725 if I possibly can. I know my neighbor across the street recently sold theirs for 690,
Mm-hmm.
but they have one
Mm-hmm.
less bedroom and they don't have a pool.
They don't have a pool. Okay. And so, if you don't mind me asking, what's your bottom line price? Like, what price won't you go below?
I mean, I really think that 700 number. I mean, they sold theirs for 690. They don't have a pool. I mean, I know in the neighborhood we can probably get at least 20, if not as much as $50,000 more just because of the pool. It's hot. It's
Mm-hmm.
hot here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And as a professional realtor, I study the homes and prices in Mountain House every day. So, I mean, I assume you'll list with me at a price that'll cause your home to sell considering your timeline, right?
Yeah, let's stop right there. Okay. So let me give you the opportunity to quick critique. What are some things that you feel like you would have done, should have done?
I mean, I feel like I went deeper than I did yesterday in terms of
Mhm,
question three.
mhm. Okay, cool. So here's what I want you to do. As you were going through, and I would encourage you to go back and look at the video. As you are asking the questions, you kind of had this very like casual approach, and it just kind of like I don't even really, in a sense, want to do this, but I got to get this thing out of the way. And
Mhm.
yeah, you kind of took a little bit of this demeanor, and yeah, I guess, if I could sell your house, I'm gonna do it. So in that, it's really important that you do. I imagine you're sitting right now. Okay. So obviously, for the sake, when you do pre-qualify, we need to stand up. We need to be able to have that energy, and we've got to be able to project. I have the benefit of seeing your, your body language. I have that, but I can also hear it. And if I don't see, the professionalism, all I hear is this. Does she really even want the listing? It kind of sounds like as if though it's more of somewhat of a bother. It's not what we say, it's how we say it. Okay. So yes, you did better when it comes time to going through every single last one of the questions, getting a little bit better. I still want you to be a little bit cleaner from question to, in a sense, question. But I also want you to have some excitement and enthusiasm. This is a big move for this person, and if they're not excited, we want to get them excited. Okay. So in that's probably the biggest thing. And that's the easiest thing for realtors. For those of you that just got your license yesterday, a month ago, or a year ago, and you're still going out either on your first listing appointment, that's the one thing you can control is your effort. Okay. So, as far as the rest of the script and continuing to break it down, I really appreciate you. It is better today than it was yesterday. And again, I just ask of you guys to, as far as critique is concerned, just be open because that's how we get better. Yeah. So thank you, Shelly. Appreciate that. All right. So we didn't get time for another role play. I always appreciate those of you guys that are participating. We're going to actually shift gears here starting next week. I have the excitement and the good fortune, as most of you guys may or may not know, Lizette is my business and current life partner. And with that, Lizette is going to start to be a second voice in this, and we're going to have her co-host with me. So hopefully you guys are excited about the fact that there's going to be another voice outside of just me sitting here coming down at you guys. They'll give us an opportunity from a different angle. And so I'm really excited about that, of course, being in a position where we can have a little bit more of a yin and a yang in this forum. Okay. Thank you guys all for for being here, participating. I am super duper excited for next week, and I'll see you all 7:30 in the morning. We're going to continue to break this down. Thank you for being here. I'm going to encourage you, please make sure if you have not already subscribed to YouTube and shared it with all of your real estate homies, go there and do that. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let's have a powerful, productive day. Bye bye.
Robert.
All right, everybody. You guys heard the news. We're adding a co-host. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see you guys next week. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you. I know you guys keep showing up here, and I appreciate you guys being, whether it's here or it's YouTube or it's Facebook, but I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom, because I'm constantly sharing the script and it doesn't resonate as well. So the link is actually will always be in the information comments here. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys then. Thank you.